Here you put in whatever password you established when you set up your student account. So if I remember correctly. Okay. Now I'm ready to work with CVS. CVS has authenticated me, and I'm ready to work. Notice the fact that you need a username and a password to work with CVS means that there's some protection. CVS knows what user is communicating with it, and we have CVS set up so that you are the only ones who can see your own files. And you should not be able to see anybody else's files. Now, this is not typical when you're using CVS to manage your source code. The whole reason for using CVS to manage source code is so that the whole team can have access and make simultaneous changes and see the changes other people made. So this is an adaptation that we made for using CVS in the context of submitting your homework. Okay. So I've logged in. The next thing I need to do is to get my files. Okay, and the way that you get files from the server in CVS is with a command called checkout. C-H-E-C-K-O-U-T. So I'll type CVS checkout, and then SE 2003 stands for Software Engineering 2003. All of your homeworks, all of your separate directories will be under there. And then I type Lex user ID. Not user ID, excuse me, student ID. Because that's what it's going to use to decide what to name the subdirectories. And I know this is not a valid student ID, but okay. So the checkout command includes the prefix SE 2003, which is the root of all the software engineering homework, and then your own student ID. Now, if I did this correctly, okay. So, this is CVS talking to me, the server is talking to me, and it's telling me that these are the files that it checked out. And if I do a directory, I can see that it created this top-level directory, and underneath, it created the directory which is Lex user ID. And if I go into there, you can obviously do the navigation using Explorer, but since I have the window here. Okay. Whoops. Okay, and these are the two files that LEC has committed. Now, they're not homework files. They're just junk files that I created. But the CVS repository has held on to them. I can get them back anytime I want on any computer that has CVS on it or that I can download CVS to. Now, let's suppose now that I have a new homework assignment and LEC has a homework assignment. She wants to submit it. Okay, and let's say that the name of that is let me see. I have a better idea. Let me do it with Notepad. So I'm going to create a file called homework_71103.txt. This is going to be the homework assignment that LEC is going to submit. Yes, I want to create it. And I'll save it and exit. Now, obviously, your homework, you can create it anywhere, using any tool, as long as the ultimate version of it is text or HTML. So you may have done it at home, and you may bring it in on a floppy, say, and use the machines in the lab to do it. It's up to you. Okay, so if I do a directory now, I have this homework file. Okay, there's 2 steps to submitting the homework to CVS. 2 commands. The first command is you say CVS add and the name of the file. Okay, and CVS answers scheduling file homework 711.3 text for addition. Use CVS commit to add this file permanently. So I've notified CVS that I have a new file, And then the second step is to say CVS commit, and I'll explain this. And committing means I'm saving it to the server. Okay? That is the submission process. That is how you get your homework to the server, where we can then see it, look at it, grade it, and so on. Okay? We can check out any of your homework. Okay? But you can't check out anyone else's homework. At least you shouldn't be able to. And if someone discovers that they can, please tell us. Don't tell each other, because it's not good for you. So, as you can see, CVS has created the initial version of this homework. Now let's suppose that you decided, yes, I see a hand. Yes, there are. I'll talk about that in a minute. Well, let me talk about it now. You see me doing all this typing, and you think, boy, this is old-fashioned. This is like nobody types in a DOS window anymore. The fact of the matter is that there are a number of user interfaces, graphical user interfaces, that have been written that are wrappers around CVS. Okay? If you go out into the world and start working in industry, you will very likely be using CVS. I mean, it's not the only version control system, but it's pretty popular. But you probably won't be using it at the command line unless you like to do that, which actually I do because I'm used to it and it gives me a lot of control. But there are a number of user interfaces that you can download free. Come on. I don't know where the receiver is on this. Well, since I can't get it to cooperate, I will put a list on the website. Why don't I do that? I will add a slide to the notes with the names of some of the graphical user interfaces that are available for CVS. But the advantage of using the command line is that you really can tell what you're doing. And for simple cases like what you're doing here, you probably don't need a fancy user interface. But you're welcome to use one if you want. And I don't guarantee that if you download one, I can tell you how it works, because I've only used a couple of them. The other thing that you find is that a lot of the commercial integrated development packages, these are large systems where you can browse code and edit code and compile code all in one environment. Things like Borland, JBuilder, Visual Cafe, a lot of big commercial projects. They have integration with CVS. So you can actually access the CVS repository from inside the repository, inside the IDEs. Okay, one more thing I want to show you with the CVS command line. Let's suppose that I submitted my homework and then I realized that I forgot to put something into it that I wanted to add. I can edit it again because it's still here. Whoops, no, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do the notepad, excuse me. So let's say I created, there's something else I wanted to say. Okay. Now I have a new version, but the repository doesn't know about it. Okay, I don't have to add it again because the repository already has the earlier version. All I have to do is do a commit. Now I didn't talk about what this -m is. This is what's called a log comment. It's basically, it goes into the history